Have you ever wondered how much weight you carry every day? Not on your shoulders, but in your mind and heart. Each of us lugs around expectations, comparisons, toxic relationships, and many subtle habits that drain our energy without us even realizing it. But what if you could let go, quietly, calmly, without any grand gestures, but in a way that transforms your inner peace and personal growth? In this journey inspired by Stoicism, we're going to explore the 10 things you can gradually, silently remove from your life to cultivate more resilience, clarity, and contentment. Each one offers a space to reflect, an invitation to change, and a way to create a life aligned with your true self. Imagine, by the end of this, feeling lighter, more purposeful, and genuinely aligned with what matters most. Stay with us until the end. There's a powerful shift waiting there, one that could change your approach to life itself. Now let's begin with the very first burden you might consider releasing. 1. Constant comparison. Have you ever caught yourself comparing your life to others? Perhaps it's something small, like the way someone else looks, or something big, like their career, relationship, or success. These comparisons are natural, but ultimately burdensome. When we compare ourselves to others, we stray from our own path and ignore our unique strengths and values. In the language of Stoicism, comparison distracts us from our personal inner citadel, the fortress of calm, wisdom, and self-assurance within us. So, ask yourself, why do we look outside ourselves to measure our worth? What are we truly seeking in these comparisons? Often, they don't serve our growth. Instead, they shift our focus to the external world, which is, according to Stoic philosophy, beyond our control. When we see someone achieving something we desire, it's easy to feel envy, frustration, or disappointment. But each person's path is unique, with its own trials and triumphs. No two paths are ever the same, nor are they meant to be. Your challenges, skills, and even setbacks are exclusive to your journey. Now, imagine letting go of this tendency. What would it feel like to shift your focus inward and commit to your own journey? Practicing gratitude for your life as it is strengthens your resilience and respect for your progress. When we cease comparing, we honor our personal path, taking pride in small, meaningful victories without measuring them against others. Instead of comparison, choose self-reflection. When you're drawn to measure yourself against someone else, pause and ask, what part of my life can I cultivate to feel truly fulfilled? Stoicism teaches us that our most significant work lies within ourselves, not in the lives of others. The peace that comes from knowing yourself and accepting your path is more valuable than any fleeting satisfaction comparison might offer. As you practice quieting the habit of comparison, you create space for joy, gratitude, and genuine contentment, feelings that flourish only when we focus on our unique journey. By eliminating constant comparison, you set a strong foundation for a life driven by purpose and inner peace. And with that, we move forward to the next hidden obstacle on this journey of liberation. 2. Seeking external approval. Imagine yourself on a stage with countless faces staring back at you, each holding an opinion about how you should live, speak, and act. Does this image feel liberating or constricting? For many, it's the latter. Living for external approval is like wearing a mask that doesn't fit, a mask that hides our true essence in favor of what others expect or want us to be. Stoicism calls us to act according to our values, not the shifting standards of others. Epictetus once asked, "Who, then, is invincible? The one who cannot be upset by anything outside his reasoned choice." When we seek approval from others, we give them the power to shape our happiness, our sense of worth, and even our choices. But consider this: who truly understands your path better than you do? The pursuit of external validation often leads us to abandon our values, causing inner conflict and anxiety. We lose sight of our core, becoming strangers to our true selves. Pause and reflect. In what areas of your life are you striving for approval from others? How much of your time and energy is spent pleasing, impressing, or satisfying expectations that aren't truly yours? Imagine the freedom that comes from letting go of this need, stepping off that stage and into a peaceful, quiet space where the only voice guiding you is your own. By eliminating the need for external validation, we give ourselves permission to live authentically. Begin by asking yourself each day, is this action true to my values, or am I doing it to win approval? As you grow comfortable with being true to yourself, you will find an unshakable sense of self-worth, independent of outside opinions. This is the heart of Stoicism, valuing our inner character over external praise. Take this next step with intention. By turning inward, you embrace a life grounded in self-respect, not the fleeting approval of others. Now, as we move forward, let's explore another source of inner tension: expectations that often remain hidden but have a profound impact. 3. Unrealistic expectations. Picture your life as a ship on a vast ocean. Each expectation is like a sail, catching the wind to help propel you forward. But what happens when your sails are too large, or when they lead you in a direction you hadn't anticipated? Unrealistic expectations are just like those oversized sails, steering us toward frustration, disappointment, and even resentment when reality doesn't align with the ideals we've set. Stoicism reminds us to be honest with ourselves about what is within our control and what is not. We often set high expectations for ourselves, for others, and for life circumstances, without acknowledging that much of what unfolds lies beyond our influence. When we expect perfection in ourselves, we set ourselves up for inevitable disappointment. Life, as the Stoics teach, is unpredictable and rarely meets our idealized plans. So why not adjust our sails to navigate reality rather than resist it? Reflect on this. What expectations do you currently hold that may not serve you? Do you expect perfection in your career, your relationships, or yourself? When we attach ourselves to unrealistic goals, we overlook the beauty of the journey itself. We forget that each step, even with its challenges and imperfections, is valuable. Releasing these expectations doesn't mean giving up on your dreams. It means accepting that the path may look different than you initially imagined. By letting go of these unrealistic ideals, we open ourselves to life as it is, not as we wish it to be. Instead of a rigid list of demands, try setting intentions that resonate with your values and allow for life's natural ebb and flow. Celebrate small victories, learn from setbacks, and embrace the growth that each experience brings. Stoicism teaches us to find contentment in the journey rather than in a fixed outcome. In doing so, we achieve a peace that isn't shaken by unmet expectations. With this new mindset, you can steer your life with a calm and steady hand, guided by resilience rather than disappointment. Let's now turn our focus to an area that often steals both our time and our peace: the world of social media. 4. Excessive social media use. Imagine for a moment that your life is a beautiful, unfolding story, each moment a page filled with unique experiences, insights, and growth. Now, picture social media as a vast library filled with millions of other stories, each capturing the highlights, successes, and adventures of others. This library is alluring, filled with polished snapshots of life, but it comes with a subtle danger: the tendency to lose ourselves in constant comparison and distraction. Stoicism encourages us to focus on what we can control, to center our minds on our own journey without letting external images disrupt our peace. Have you found yourself scrolling mindlessly, comparing your day-to-day life with the carefully curated posts of others? How often do you walk away feeling less satisfied, wishing your life reflected what you see on the screen? Social media can create an endless loop of comparison, making us feel that our own story isn't enough. But just as the Stoics taught, the outside world, its opinions, images, and portrayals need not disturb our inner calm. What if instead you could use social media as a tool for purposeful connection and learning? Consider setting specific times to check your accounts, approaching each visit with a clear purpose. Ask yourself, am I engaging with content that inspires me, or am I just killing time? When we use social media with intention, we are less likely to lose ourselves in it. Another powerful practice is to notice your emotional state. If scrolling leaves you feeling drained, anxious, or dissatisfied, it might be time to step away and reconnect with activities in the real world. Think of each moment spent offline as an investment in your well-being. Spend time reading a book, enjoying nature, pursuing a hobby, or simply being present in the moment. Stoicism teaches us to cherish what we have, rather than constantly craving what we see in others. By reducing excessive social media use, we reclaim our time, focus, and peace of mind, qualities essential for a fulfilling and grounded life. As we turn away from the digital world, let's look inward at another source of unrest: our own judgments of others. 5. Negative judgments of others. Judging others is a habit that easily creeps into our interactions, often without us realizing it. When we judge, we set ourselves apart, casting our opinions onto others without fully understanding their stories. But Stoicism teaches us that we should first examine our own character before casting judgment. As Marcus Aurelius said, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth by which no one was ever truly harmed." In this spirit, Stoicism reminds us that judging others only harms our own peace, pulling us away from personal growth. Reflect on this. When was the last time you shared an opinion about someone without fully understanding their circumstances? Judging others can feel satisfying in the moment, as it reinforces our perspective, but it rarely benefits anyone. Instead, it can sow discord, harm relationships, and cloud our thinking. When we let go of judgment, we free ourselves from unnecessary negativity, opening up space for empathy and understanding. Instead of judging, consider practicing diplomacy. Imagine interacting with someone you find challenging and ask yourself, what positive quality can I acknowledge in this person? This practice doesn't require us to agree with everyone, but rather to approach differences with respect and tolerance. When we speak with kindness instead of judgment, we create an environment where true connection and growth can flourish. This is especially powerful when disagreements arise, as diplomacy encourages dialogue rather than conflict. As you strive to release judgment, observe how your interactions change. Notice the calmness that replaces tension, the understanding that takes the place of frustration. In choosing not to judge, you choose peace over conflict, empathy over division, and this choice allows you to walk a path of patience and wisdom, cultivating a richer, more harmonious life. Having quieted the habit of judgment, let's now consider another powerful transformation: eliminating the toxic relationships that no longer serve us. 6. Problematic relationships. Relationships are meant to bring out the best in us, to nurture our growth, and to support our journey. But there are times when certain connections become burdens rather than blessings. Perhaps it's a friendship where trust has been broken, or a relationship filled with negativity. Stoicism reminds us that our energy is precious, and choosing to invest it in the right places is essential for a balanced life. As Epictetus said, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." Reflect on your relationships. Are there people in your life who consistently drain your energy, who bring conflict rather than comfort? Releasing toxic relationships is not about anger or resentment. It's about choosing peace and growth over turmoil. Often, we hold on to relationships out of habit, fear of change, or guilt. But the Stoic approach encourages us to choose wisely, recognizing that every interaction shapes our character and well-being. Imagine quietly stepping away from relationships that no longer serve your highest good. This doesn't mean creating conflict. Rather, it means prioritizing your mental and emotional health. If there's someone in your life who consistently causes you harm, consider the courage it takes to let go, respectfully and silently, allowing time to show the consequences. By doing this, you're not just protecting yourself, you're making space for connections that uplift and enrich you. In the words of Stoicism, true companionship should be rooted in mutual respect and growth. Each relationship, when aligned with this principle, contributes positively to your life. As you release problematic relationships, notice how you begin to feel freer, more at peace, and more aligned with who you truly are. With this clarity, let's now address another habit that can quietly diminish our well-being: participating in gossip. 7. Participation in gossip. Gossip often seems harmless, even a way to bond with others over shared opinions or experiences. But gossip is a double-edged sword, cutting deeper than we realize. It not only harms the person being discussed, but also shapes our own character in ways we may not intend. Stoicism teaches us that our words are powerful, shaping our inner self as well as our external world. When we choose words of kindness and understanding, we cultivate a mindset of peace. Conversely, when we indulge in gossip, we plant seeds of discord and judgment. Ask yourself, how often do you find yourself discussing others in a way that doesn't serve anyone's growth? Does it bring lasting satisfaction or merely fill a temporary void? Gossip can create a false sense of closeness with others, but it is built on negativity, often leading to misunderstandings and mistrust. Imagine if, instead of gossiping, we focused on conversations that uplift, inspire, and build connection based on positivity rather than criticism. To practice this, consider gently steering conversations away from gossip. If a discussion veers toward negativity, try introducing a positive topic or highlighting a constructive quality about the person in question. This shift not only preserves your peace, but also influences others, creating a more respectful environment. And if you find yourself tempted to speak about someone else, pause and ask, would I want this said about me? Stoicism calls us to treat others with the same respect and empathy that we seek for ourselves. By eliminating gossip from our interactions, we create an environment of trust and authenticity. When we let go of this habit, we find that our conversations become richer, more meaningful, and more focused on mutual growth. As we move forward, let's explore the benefits of maintaining privacy in personal matters, a quality that strengthens our resilience and preserves our dignity. 8. Sharing too much about relationships. Our relationships, especially close ones, are like sacred gardens, a private space where trust, intimacy, and shared experiences grow. However, when we share too many details about these relationships with others, we often unintentionally invite opinions, judgments, and misunderstandings into something that should remain personal. Stoicism emphasizes the value of discretion, urging us to guard what is precious and to respect the dignity of each relationship. Consider this: When something challenging happens in a friendship or romance, is there a tendency to vent to others? While it may feel relieving in the moment, sharing the private details of our relationships often leads to gossip, misinterpretation, or even damaged reputations. Instead, Stoicism advises us to reflect internally, seeking our own understanding rather than validation from others. When we preserve the privacy of our relationships, we not only protect those involved, but also deepen our capacity for introspection and growth. Imagine approaching challenges within a relationship as opportunities to turn inward rather than outward. Rather than seeking comfort through sharing, use the moment to cultivate patience and self-understanding. Reflect on what the experience teaches you about yourself and how you can grow from it. By maintaining privacy, you allow the relationship to resolve or evolve naturally, without the added weight of external opinions. As you practice discretion, notice the strength it brings to your relationships. You create a foundation based on trust and respect, honoring the unique experiences shared between you and the other person. And when relationships do come to an end, Stoicism reminds us that closing chapters with dignity preserves the memory and lessons, allowing us to carry forward the wisdom without unnecessary regret. Having learned the power of privacy, let us now turn to the subtle art of letting go of unnecessary goals, those ambitions that may no longer serve us or align with our values. 9. Unnecessary goals. In life, it's natural to set goals, aiming for achievements that we believe will bring us fulfillment. Yet, as we grow, we often realize that not every goal continues to serve our well-being or aligns with who we are. Some ambitions lose relevance, and clinging to them can become a burden. Stoicism encourages us to let go of what no longer serves us, reminding us that our true purpose lies in living authentically, not in merely checking items off a list. Ask yourself, are there goals you're still pursuing that no longer resonate with your values? Perhaps these goals once held meaning, but now feel empty or forced. Letting go of unnecessary goals isn't about giving up. Rather, it's about making room for what truly matters. When we pursue only those ambitions aligned with our core self, we conserve energy and build a life marked by clarity and intention. Imagine the quiet freedom that comes from releasing outdated ambitions. Rather than announcing it to others or explaining why you're letting go, simply shift your focus inward, prioritizing goals that feel genuinely aligned. This discreet process allows you to move forward without the pressure of others' expectations or judgments. In Stoicism, wisdom lies in understanding what is within our control and what brings true fulfillment. By letting go of superficial or outdated goals, we can invest ourselves fully in the present moment, nurturing a life that is meaningful, not just impressive. With fewer distractions, you'll find more energy for what truly resonates with you, creating a deeper sense of purpose. Having refined our goals, we are ready to address one final aspect of our journey: managing frustration and anger with grace, turning these energies into sources of strength and resilience. 10. Excessive displays of frustration or anger. Emotions, especially intense ones like frustration and anger, can easily overpower us if left unchecked. When we react impulsively to these emotions, we often lose control, exposing vulnerabilities and disrupting our inner peace. Stoicism teaches us to recognize these feelings, not to suppress them, but to channel them constructively. As Seneca advised, a person's worth is measured by their control over their anger. Think about a time when you reacted strongly to a difficult situation. Did venting anger or frustration ultimately help, or did it intensify the problem? Excessive displays of anger can harm relationships, erode respect, and leave us feeling drained and regretful. Instead, imagine being able to observe the emotion, acknowledge it, and then decide calmly how to respond. This is the Stoic approach, using reason to control our impulses rather than allowing emotions to dictate our actions. One practical way to manage frustration is to pause and reflect before reacting. When you feel anger building up, try taking a deep breath and asking yourself, what is within my control here? Instead of reacting immediately, channel that energy toward constructive actions. Perhaps it's addressing the situation calmly or redirecting that energy into a beneficial task. By doing so, you transform anger into a source of strength, a driving force that can propel you forward rather than pull you down. With practice, you'll find that containing your emotions, especially in difficult times, allows for wiser decisions and healthier relationships. In choosing to manage rather than broadcast frustration, you cultivate resilience and command over your life. This is the essence of Stoicism, finding calm within the storm, choosing strength over reaction, and ultimately leading a life of wisdom and dignity. And now, having explored these 10 principles, let's step back and see how each piece contributes to a life of clarity, purpose, and inner peace. As we journey through life, there will always be temptations to hold on to the habits, relationships, and thoughts that weigh us down. Yet by quietly letting go of what no longer serves us, we create space for growth, authenticity, and resilience. Stoicism reminds us that true strength lies not in external achievements, but in mastering our own minds and actions. Imagine how different your life could feel by letting go of constant comparison, the need for approval, unrealistic expectations, and excessive social media use. Consider the freedom that comes from maintaining discretion in relationships, discarding judgment and gossip, releasing outdated goals, and mastering your emotions. Each choice brings you closer to a life of purpose, grounded in the strength of self-understanding. So, are you ready to take these steps? Reflect on each of these points and consider which one speaks to you most. Begin there, with a quiet commitment to let go. In this way, you honor your journey, create room for growth, and build a life aligned with your true self. As you practice these Stoic principles, you'll find that each small change creates a profound impact, helping you live with resilience and inner calm. If you found this journey inspiring, let us know in the comments which point resonated with you the most. Share this video with others who might benefit from these insights. And don't forget to subscribe for more content centered on personal growth and wisdom. Thank you for joining us on this path toward a life of quiet strength. Wishing you peace and resilience as you apply these principles of Stoicism in your own life.